Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Lochek. His name is Mike Brander. We are the Odds Couple. We come to you from sportsbookreview.com, SBRodds.com. We're talking more bowls with Ross Benjamin from RBWins.com.
I love breaking them down with him, Pete.
Well, he's the perfect guy to talk with, if only because his record in his free picks. Should I put it out there?
Put it out there.
48 and 24, and that's his free picks at SBR in videos combined with his articles, and that's all in college football this year.
Yeah,
which
and I learned of those figures yesterday, so I went home and I looked up the word production, and there was a picture of Ross Benjamin, handsome guy having a glass of wine and up there in upstate New York.
All right.
Hey,
well,
since this winning streak, I've upgraded the vodka, Mike.
Oh. Uh-oh. Right. Okay.
Sounds good. Well, when you have those kinds of results, that's when you get the tough assignments. We're going to give another tough one right here, and that's going to be the Citrus Bowl, Louisiana State, LSU, and Louisville. This, of course, is being played in Florida. Louisville, of course, obviously an awesome team, but having kind of some issues at the end of the year. They lost their last two games, and then they had some. They've had a bunch of off-field issues. Their last game was an outright loss to Kentucky as a 28-point favorite. So what's up with Louisville right now? Not exactly sure. And then LSU, obviously, we know what to expect with them. Obviously, a very strong team, no matter who they put on the field. And how much are they going to be motivated here? Probably fully motivated. I don't know. What do you think, Mike Brenner?
Well, this is that game. There's so many factors. There's so many elements to it because you got an LSU team that went through, and again, we nailed that one. Beginning of the year, said Les Miles won't make it through the season. All right, so they went through that whole dance and ended up coming out fired up and just playing well. We cashed on it quite a bit.
Covered 5 out of their last 7 ATS.
Exactly, and now you got a coach has a position, but now you got a player that was up there for the Heisman that says he's not playing in that game because he's going to save it for the NFL. My opinion might not match others, but I don't respect that. So now I don't know how that affects the team. But I look on the other side of the ball, this at one time was a dumpster fire, and Petrino is back there again. They gave him another shot. It looked like they were untouchable for a minute when they were scoring 60 and everything else. But like you said, Kentucky, and it wasn't a fluke, Kentucky beat them. Does this time period, does it benefit LSU as a tighter-knit program? I think so. Off-field issues with Louisville, that concerns me, Pistol Pete. And with Petrino's track record from the past, he's a little bit freewheeling. So I don't know. I think LSU is going to get this thing done, but I'm not going to put a penny on it yet. But I do want to hear what Ross has to say because
Ross,
he
LSU -3. What's your take on it?
Well, here's my take, guys. These are two teams that certainly had higher aspirations before the season began. But, my angle is this. LSU came to terms they weren't going to have the kind of season they expected before the year began. And that came early on, right? And then you get rid of Les Miles. Ed Orgeron comes in as your interim head coach. Now he's hired as your full-time head coach. Stability within the program means a lot. And as Mike alluded to and Pete alluded to, they finished very strong. You can't underestimate a strong defense in a game of this nature. And LSU certainly has one. They've allowed 21 points or less in 11 of their 12 games this season. Louisville was strong on defense for most of the year, but during this two-game slide that Pete touched upon, this is a team that's given up 77 points and just short of 1,000 yards. They were blown out by Houston. As these guys just mentioned, 4-touchdown favorite against Kentucky at home, and they lose. Louisville 9-1 after 10 games, rated number 5 in the FBS playoff race. And then they lose their last two. Their bubble's been bursted. My personal experience, guys, is when you see a team that was right on the cusp of playing for a national championship and they floundered in the last game or two, they very rarely come out and play a strong bowl game. And I think that's going to be the case here. I'm going to take LSU. Their defense will make the difference in this game. I'm going to lay to 3 points for a small lean, Pete.
Wow.
The passenger seat's not going to be enough because we're going to need a back seat. And if Pistol Pete says he's not jumping in, then I'm going to get arrested for abduction because you can't miss this one.
Really?
I'm not kidding you. Dennis, they can charge me with abduction. Pete, you got to jump in.
I'm not going there. It was a great break. It was an awesome breakdown.
But do you think, honestly, and I even look at talent-wise and I look at competition, who played the tougher teams throughout the year, and I know they both did, but I love the fact of what he said going into this thing. who is off, who's on. You got Dennis standing up over there. What's going on, my man?
We're getting zip ties.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's a done deal, zip ties, baby. But no, I love this. I think, and I mean this, I started it out wanting to go that way, and I said, I'm not going to put a penny until I hear Ross's breakdown.
Yeah.
It makes sense, and I think this team is tight. When Ed Orgeron was named, okay, it's your team, that goes a long way in the locker room, okay? That team's going to be ready to play. Petrino is still trying to earn his wings again over there, and with the off-field issues, I'm jumping in, Ross. We're driving to the bank again, my man.
All right.
We got to take Peter with us.
I'm telling you.
I just got to think a little bit more about it.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Line is -3, and Mike Brenner, you can get -3, -105 at Bookmaker and the Chris.
Yep.
Chris Books. All right, Ross Benjamin, awesome breakdown. Yeah, I mean, like I said, with LSU, you know you're going to get a certain level of excellence no matter what.
And you know what? We had a good feel for them, Pete, after that. After Orgeron had that opportunity and Les Miles was gone, they felt like a free team. They started playing free, all right? And they had fun again. That has not stopped, and that's why we can't end this video unless you say you're in.
I can't get it.
You're not going to jump in? I cannot believe it. Give me a Christmas present for crying out loud. Jump in.
Maybe later. Look, this bowl doesn't go until Saturday, December 31st, so there's a lot of time.
We got time.
Yes.
Right.
Ross Benjamin, rbwins.com is your website. Tell us what you do there.
rbwins.com. You get all my selections that I personally wager on myself and my paying clients receive. You know, folks, as Pete touched upon early in his video, 48-24 this year at SBRpicks.com. You got a lot of free winners, made a lot of free money. How about paying the piper and going to rbwins.com, where you pay just a little and you make an awful lot.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Ross.
I love that ending, Ross. Merry Christmas to you and your family, my friend.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much more.